So, it's just my headphones then. So let's start off the stream with a little bit of Sheepguana lore fiction by none other than our craft in chat, whose Twitter handle is RICraft. I choose to believe it stands for Respectable Iguana Craft. If you want to read the entire thing, it is linked on my Twitter, but there's the link in chat. I am going to read my favorite part to everybody live because it totally deserves it. So, this is a treatise on the care of the Geyer Sheepguana. And this section is about the death of the leader of a Sheepguana herd. With other breeds, upon the death of the matriarch, another wise Ewe-guana, often one of her daughters, will rise to assume her mantle, and indeed this seems to be how matters proceed in Geyer herds that live apart from humans as well. But in a domestic flock, tended and cared for by its faithful guardian, this has never been seen to happen. Instead, the flock will enter what is best described as a period of mourning and confusion, after which it will dissolve, with individuals or small groups leaving to join other flocks or even the wild herds. The only way to keep the flock together is to find a new matriarch, similar to introducing a new queen into a beehive. That was a fun excerpt from The Tending and Care of the Geyer Sheepguana, written by RICraft. Link is in the chat to all of the other stories. As sort of a general rule, you should totally feel free to make stuff up about any of the weird things that we do here. I certainly don't own the idea of Sheepguana. In fact, I didn't even come up with it. Twitter did. So, in general, I kind of love the idea of collaborative storytelling. I love the idea that someone would write lore about something and then we could all sort of read it, enjoy it, incorporate it into sort of the rest of the fun things we're making up, and sort of move on like that. So anyone who wants to write strange lore about basically anything should just go for it, and we can all share it and have fun. And it should be more fun that way, with everybody coming up with stuff and sharing ideas. So I wanted to share a little bit of that because it made me very, very happy when it was posted on Twitter yesterday. So now, Sheepguana animation. I have here a little model in Flash. It's not called Flash anymore, it's called Animate. I'm going to keep calling it Flash because I've used it since like the 90s, and I'm not great with change. So I apologize for my misnomers. I'm also awfully tired, so we will probably only stream for 2 hours today, but that should be enough to give us some fun animation. I'm gonna sort of, yeah, hang on, yeah, I'm gonna create him as I would, for example, and like a little emoji or like a game animation. So the idea is that he'll be fairly static in place, but he'll have little motions and gestures so that people can grab him and use him in things. And I'll probably do something sort of basic and then maybe get some suggestions from you guys. I'm also going to sort of treat this tutorially-ish, so I'm going to probably talk a little bit more than I usually do about specifically what I'm doing, because I don't usually animate on here, and I think it might be nice to kind of at least explain a little bit what's going on. First, I'm going to take off these headphones because I'm just absolutely failing here. Now I sound weird and loud, but the beeping and the clicking that my headphones are causing has stopped. So that's nice. So to start off with, I've got him kind of rigged up all ready to animate. So all of his little body parts are separate symbols that can be moved around separately. I did a couple of basic eye stuff so that he could easily do some fun things. Okay, oh, we've already ears wiggle, breathe fire, barf milk. This is goodness, everyone. Oh, Hannah, I don't know how to make things happen in response to Bits donation. I don't think I can take Bits donation yet. I don't know how any of this works on Twitch. But so I've also created a little hierarchy tree so that all of his pieces move when. No, he's a vegetarian. So all of his pieces move with the attached pieces included, so that when I rotate any piece of him, everything stays connected, which is really helpful. Some pieces aren't. Some pieces are connected differently because I wanted to be able to make this fluff kind of bounce. I don't think we can. I mean, we can have bleeding, but I don't really have audio. So he's sort of all set here. So let's just do something really quick to give you an example. This we'll say is the idol. Let's have him toss his head up and then kind of a fast down back to idle. Deer and cows and goats and sheep sometimes eat baby birds. Okay, well, I don't want to have to find a baby quail. So if you want, he can murder a butterfly, but that seems dark. So it's got kind of a little head toss that is not playing to speed. Let's see if we can preview him chunky here. I did make the seething mass gif. So now that we've done this, we're gonna kind of, oops, kind of tweak it here. Oops. Yeah, I'll open it in a second and show everyone. No, I'll show everyone the quail. I apologize if I'm a little bit slower keeping up with chat today. As I said, I'm pretty tired, and also dyslexic, so that makes it extra challenging to try and animate and read and talk at the same time. But I'll try and keep up. Yes, I'm working on the dewlap. Give ourselves a little bit of a. That's a little bit too much. That seems. There we go. So we got a little, and when he gets all the way up here, let's open his mouth just a little bit, because then it'll snap closed. So we'll open it just a little bit. Am I faster at keeping up with chat? It's possibly fair. To be honest, it helps to not have to draw anything. I can just, because he's already drawn, I can just make choices. So now I'm going to do a fun thing where I set the keyframe for his eye so that I can get what expression I want. Oh, that one. And then set it back here. What is make him open his mouth to the heavens and drop a baby quail in it? I mean, it'd be funnier if he just lay down staring straight ahead, a baby quail hopped up and he opened his mouth and the quail just hopped in. Just if we're going for hilarious humor here. Right, we'll get that. And get rid of the pupil. I can tell you want him to eat a baby quail so badly. So now, let's see if we can have him. Oh, I put the rotation point of that in a weird place. Let's put that rotation point here. Let's fix that. And there. So, oh dear. Anyway, rotation points are what the thing rotates around. And I feel as if perhaps I have made a rookie error here. Maybe not. We'll just have to deal. We're still eating baby quail in chat. Okay, cool. So because of the way this is all parented, I've parented it all to his tummy, which means that I want him to lift slightly, which means that doing so is going to be kind of more work than I want, but I'll just have to deal. So no, the tail can't curve. There are limits to this program, and I'd have to draw a bunch of tail frames. So I can't make him wag his tail. I mean, I can, but not easily, I should say. But I can make him walk. I can make him sort of lift his tail. Also, iguana don't, as far as I can tell from my limited research, have particularly flexible tails. Oops. It seems like they're pretty stiff. So, they use their tails as what? Oh, good. Of course, Hannah knows that iguana use their tails as weapons. So there's not a good way to magically computer cheat a striped iguana tail. That's a drawing frames proposition. So that's kind of the, you know what we need? We need a grid. There we go. Oh, but it's tail turns. You guys are really into this tail. So this is what the tail can do. Tail can do that. That's the tail's function. It can also do this. But if you'll notice, it's stripes and these little. So I'd have to like draw like a kind of a swish and sort of edit those and then figure out where the stripes end up. He can jump up in the air and land on a baby quail. But for now, for heaven's sakes, let's just do this one simple thing. Yeah, why so quail murdery? It's just a little bit quail bitter today. What's the deal? It's, oh dear. I'm still not convinced that bird D&D is the same. That bird D&D and Sheepguana occupy the same world. Huh. Strange choices made by my thing here. Yeah, I was pleased to discover the owlbear in the sheepguana lore, because of course sheepguana would exist in the sort of world where owlbears exist. Okay, I need to fix some rigging stuff here. You should be. Huh? There we go. Yes. Oh, so yes, they are part of bird D&D lore. Sentient species are all birds, non-sentient are all iguanas. That seems a little bit specific. I mean, do we just no need for mammals here? Is that the gist of it? I mean, all iguanas are kind of already dragons. Oh. I will say, from a purely visual art point of view, it'd be nice to have things besides iguanas. Just as a general visual rule. Okay. I got him. It's a little bit odd. Kind of pulls his tail forward. Let's fix that. There we go. And then, oops. Good. Yes, D&D dragons are usually, I think at a certain age they become properly sentient. Someone can correct me on my D&D dragon lore. If, I mean, also I would argue that iguana and birds are fairly closely related. I mean, at that point, dragons are just feathered dinosaurs. I mean, that's just science, Auntie. It's obviously. You should know that I'm doing all of this animation just for an ear flop. So you know, in case you were curious what all this effort is about. Just getting, oops, did not want to tween that. Ah, stop it. Stop it. Get some tweens. So, for more tutorialiness, what I'm doing when I'm quickly doing this through here is creating a classic tween, which is the sort of computer in between math motion that smooths the sort of movement. That's why the sort of parenting tree here is there, so that when the computer tweens between frames, it knows how to move things without drifting them way off course. So there are other kinds of tweens. There's a motion tween, which, as far as I know, no one ever uses or knows how to use. I certainly don't. And then there's shape tweens, which tween a non-symbol. So like if I had a line and I wanted it to become a curved line, I would use a shape tween and it would do that. But shape tweens are notoriously awful and have a tendency to break. So let's say I wanted the line to go from there to like here. Instead of doing what you'd think, it it does a weird, like, it makes bad choices. And so then you'd be like, okay, if it goes from there to there, then I guess I'll put a frame in the middle that'll go part way there, and that'll teach it, and then you'd see, oh no, that part's still crazy. Oh, but that part works. So it's shape tweens are weird and awful, is my point. But this bit's fine. So let's now that we've got kind of some basic stuff in, let's give it some eases, which is sort of, if I were hand animating, hello Viworm. If I were hand animating, I would have basically in the corner of my keyframes, I'd have a little arc, right? So in that arc, I'd be like, here's the end, here's the beginning, and I'd tell you where the in-betweens would go. So if I wanted it to slow in and slow out with a gap in the middle, I would kind of give you this arc, and that would tell you where the drawings were meant to go, kind of in the poses. With the computer, the way I'm telling it how to do that is with this ease in and out, which creates this curve. This curve is kind of the same thing as that little drawing where it tells where the keyframes go. So because it's slow in and fast and then slow out, there's sort of essentially more keyframes out and in than there are in this middle. And that's how you kind of edit the motion. So I want him to kind of have a nice even up, and then the rest is kind of even, a fast down and a little nudge. Yeah, I could totally do a tutorial on how to rig a 2D character, so it's not bad to animate. I can give you a couple of quick tips right now. Everyone's fixated on eating baby quail. We're really, I mean, at this point, it has to happen. Although we were trying to be very, very happy and friendly, and we were going to do a butterfly, and now we're going to murder quail, and it's your fault, chat. You've done this. But so one of the tricks, and one of the key tricks to rigging a character to animate that I can just go over quickly, is rotation points. So I've got him kind of transparent, and you can see how, especially for example on the legs, like this is kind of a messy overlap, but rotation points should be kind of circular and in the middle of that circle, so that when it rotates, it doesn't super break that space. His jaw is kind of a good example of like a rotation point set not quite in the jaw, but like in this larger circle, so that when the jaw rotates, it behaves in the right way with the head. Same with the head, where it's got this big fluff, and its rotation point is in the middle of that circle, so that as it rotates, it stays within sort of the right bounds of the head. Anyway, you're gonna get your flop. I'm doing a rigging tutorial. So basically, it's designing your character to be broken up in a nice way so that everything kind of rotates around. Like these toes are a really good example. I was pretty careful with the toes. So the toes rotate in a way that doesn't break the little toe length so that he can flex his foot. Yeah, plotting out where those, like, making those hinges right, and like carefully plotting them out is kind of the main thing to any kind of animation rigging that you want to move easily. And don't give things outlines. That's the other pro tip. If you want to animate things with a rigged puppet, don't give them outlines. Outlines always break, and it's unbelievably horrible. They don't snap. I watched iguana walking videos. They definitely bend there in the middle when they walk. I did a good 3 minutes of prep for this. Oh no, we went from 7 to 9 viewers on the force of my reading tutorial. Oops. Anyway, let's do an ear flop here. So let's have it bend kind of back here so that it goes, so that he's folding it back when he's got his little head up. He's folding it back, and then we're gonna have it go up and then down and then up again. Oops. And did I move that somehow? What happened there? Oh well, we'll fix it. Why? Why are you doing? Okay, I don't understand. Here, I'm removing all of your keyframes. I don't know what's happened. I broke the ear somehow. See, now it's fine. Okay, ears. I don't understand. I don't understand why you're weird. So we're just gonna go with it. Fold you back. Must have moved it accidentally at some point. But that's okay, because we can fix it. Because that's the reason for parenting, really. The other thing is that his ears should move with his head. So although they click into rotation now, they still follow the motion of his head. So now we should have let's have that one come. There we go. Let's just overdo it slightly. How about that? So up and twitch. Yeah. Ear physics. I think his eye does a I think his eye pops too. There we go. Fixed it. I think I must have accidentally dragged it at some point. But yeah, Hannah, I am indeed showcasing how unbelievably broken this program is. Although up until yesterday, it was crashing every time I swapped between open files like that. So I've updated it, and I hope that it won't do that today. But yeah, it's a wobbly program. But so yeah, there we have kind of a let's. I feel like that goes a bit weird. Does it? Just a bit much. Yeah. And then is that? Yeah. We can't just feed everything baby quail. All right, so we've done kind of, oh, fluff. I see what's happened. Anytime I've given something keyframes that it does not need them, it's gone weird. There we go. Quail and green is made of quail. I mean, you can just eat. Okay, I'm gonna let that slide. We've got, so here on the desktop of the, do our feet click? Yep. Our feet are weird too. Oh, Adobe Animate. Why you gotta be like that? Why you gotta be that way? I mean, I don't know. I think that baby quail are slightly too small to be worth eating. I think they're already fairly small. You need to wait for them to grow all the way up. Well, this has gone oddly. Sorry that we're now spending time just fixing weird rotation issues. But he really needs to start and end at the same position, because that's sort of the point. All right, so let's put you up here, copy a new version of you. How long do we make that? Let's just make everything 1 second. That's easy. Popcorn shrimp, popcorn quail. No, yay. So we've got our basic little sort of sheep idle animation done. All right, enough with the quail murder. We need to tone it down a little, chat. Let's bring it back to slightly less murdery, maybe. Let's look at this adorable happy sheepguana. He eats pears. Nice, and lettuce, and is friendly to everybody. Just so adorable. Okay, now that we've fed, now that we've got ourselves something to start with, let's give him some other. Let's have him. Let's see. We'll duplicate this. We'll say I'll just call it Sheepguana Eat. I don't know what's going to happen, but that's what we'll call it. Erase everything that we just did in there to bring it back to idle pose. So now he doesn't move, and the dude above him does. Oh, have we buffered? So now is an excellent time to for me to see if I can dig out the hilarious quail. There it is. I don't know what state this file is in. Oh, it's in this state. Okay. the quail. the I didn't oops. I just typed into chat. The quail gif that Auntie is speaking about is this is its end state. I made a series of gifs in which which one? So I made a series of gifs in which I had a growing quail tower. That was just there was a pipe just dumping more quail on top of it. So I just kept growing it and reposting it every little while, so that it started off with like a little pile, and at the and at the end I ended up with this this madness, which I don't think will play at speed because of the number of yeah, no, it's struggling to play that many bouncing quail. It's been a while since I posted it. It was back in ye olden times with the first quail hatching of Auntie's quail. Let's see if I can get it to. Let's see if it'll preview. No, even at fast, it's still pretty broken. How small do I have to make it before it plays at speed? It's never going to play at speed. Anyway, that is no, you don't need to save it. That's the maybe the GIF. Oh, but GIFs are annoying. Nope, you're just gonna have to find it. You're just gonna have to find it on the Twitter. Yeah, there we go. So I was sort of politely trolling Auntie with quail gifs for a while. Oh, I shouldn't have closed that. That was a mistake. Where will I get my baby quail from? Let's bring it back. Oh God. Oh no. But I only need one. Just one quail. It's fine. I'll just quickly make that go away. All right. We'll just we'll drop him. Oh, he's out of scale. Let's about that big, maybe. How big are Sheepguana? Does anyone? I've covered chat with files. Does anyone? I'm a professional. I only brought the one quail in. I say I'm a professional. I'm gonna break this program during the course of this stream for sure, but I'm definitely a professional. So this feels like the scale of quail. Weirdly, they kind of bounce at the same rate. That's unintentional. I wonder. Just gonna do an experiment where where's there you are. Just gonna so I've done this for me. I don't know what everyone else wanted, but this makes me happy. It's just it's too well timed. Actually, here, let's loop the playback and just leave it. I mean, I'm not in a murdery mood. Also, I kind of don't want Sheepguana to be murdery. Like, if we're gonna murder stuff, I did invent an entire starling cult that could murder anyone we wanted. Because I think starlings are terrifying. So that's annoyingly adorable, and I'm leaving it, and no one can stop me. Just gonna label that layer. Oh, no spec. Screw you. Fine, no exclamation point. So that is a thing that's happened. No, whatever you're trying to do, stop it. So that's a thing that happened. Let's see. How are we gonna have it eat a pear? Is that it? Is that? Oh no, sorry. We just leave that running while we decide. Okay. We're just gonna have it eat something. A pear is what I suggested, just because that was the first fruit that came to mind. Should I just fall from the sky into his mouth? Like how are we gonna give this Sheepguana a pear? It's like give a mouse a cookie, don't give a Sheepguana a pear. Let's see. Maybe it just falls into his little open mouth. What do you think? I'll kind of start with this pose, kind of. Bring him up. Oh. It's right. Yeah, I mean, maybe he's got a friend up there who's shaking the tree. Maybe his guardian is up there beating the branches. Oh, are we keeping the quail up there? Is he just now a permanent fixture? I mean, because that's a thing we can do. That's definitely a thing that can happen. Okay, hold up. Did it really? No, it's still. It really. Why? Why? Apparently, here's a fun fact about Animate I did not know. Copying pasting frames deletes your hierarchy, so that's fun. So we're just gonna not do that. Cool. Your goats stare into oak trees waiting for acorns? That's kind of brilliant. I mean, the baby quail are very small. And it's true. I do have to feed it. Okay, I'm gonna see if I can. I'm gonna see if I can make this not break, because I don't really want to do that pose over again. Also, you need to stop bouncing. There we go. Let's see if I can. Nope, it totally breaks it. Sweet. Thanks, Adobe Animate. I'll just put you over here. Do it again. What did we call you? What was... Oh, we're gonna have to rename you. From eat to... Let's... Nope, not edit. Just be idle. There we go. Okay. Let's store some Sheepguana on other layers. Tidy things up. There we go. That's oh, Adobe Animate. Oh, yeah, I mean he needs to be, if he's gonna. So what we're gonna do is he needs to have his eyes wide open, obviously, and his little pupils looking like straight up. We'll rotate Quail a little bit too. I don't know how. What's I did not do a lot of Quail animation, by the way. For this, I think I drew 2 frames. What is it like? What is? It's yeah. It's a rotated Quail foot. Let's see if we can. You should do that. You should write a Quail culture that are like Mongols, trained to write. Yeah, this is a question that we haven't addressed. What is the size of the Sheepguana? Is it the size of an iguana? Of the size of a sheep? Somewhere in between? Somewhere hilariously larger, like a small pony? Just maybe the size of a wild boar? I don't know. We haven't discussed Sheepguana scale. In my head, they were the size of like large iguana. Maybe wombat sized. I don't know why wombat comes to mind as a scale choice, but I'm not sure why I thought that. I think it's just because I like small things, as a general rule. But genuinely, probably, oops, probably they would be larger, because otherwise you would need a lot of them to get enough wool to make a Sheepguana sweater. So probably size of sheep is the correct thing. We're just gonna, again, we're gonna kind of this is not drawn to animate, you guys, so we're gonna kind of cheat it here. We're barely making this work. Oh yeah, that's true. There are probably a variety of Sheepguana sizes. Oh no. That was unexpected. What? It's just gonna happen every time, is it? What if I... No. Hey, so this file's super broken. And looks like we're done. Oh my god. I don't even... What if I... I don't have a solution for this. Okay, how to cheat this? Oh, how to cheat this so that it works? Why are you being like this, Adobe Animate? It's hey, there's another fun thing that Adobe Animate does. Sometimes pieces of a drawing disappear, and that's super fun. It's yep, it's just gonna do that every time. Cool. Well, we'll not touch that then. But we will have him. Oh, that's I kind of want him to beg for more. Oh. I mean, he can move as long as his head and body remain exactly in the place they're at, because I can't open that file thing because it's super broken. But that's fine. That's that's not a big deal. Oh, another little tutorial thing is that over here, this is a symbol, which means that it's a single sort of item that contains animation, multiple frames. And over here in looping, I can have it play once, loop eternally, or have it a single frame. So if I wanted him to be playing sort of while he was just riding along, doing something in a loop, I could have him do that. Or I can set his keyframe, like I'm doing with the open-closed iguana eyes, so that they can have multiple different poses while still tweening. He's too young to have a helmet and a spear. He's just a baby. He does, I mean, he will have to learn one day. Okay. Now if we're gonna eat falling fruit. Yeah, and it's been through 2 companies, and I've used it since the olden times. Possibly I've used it all 23 years. And I have to say I'm not convinced that Adobe has well, so let me put it like this. It's 23 years old, and only just in the last 2 years has this parenting here even become an option. So yeah. Ah, yes, Macromedia. Macromedia in ye olden times. Children in our day. We had a company called Macromedia, and it created Dreamweaver and Flash. I've made Flash. Oh, I've done the animation for Flash games. Sort of the whole point of Flash, the original reason for it, is that it's vector as opposed to raster. So Photoshop is a raster program. You're just painting pixels. Illustrator and Adobe Animate, Flash, are vector, which means that the computer is drawing points and then extrapolating between them to create a shape, which takes a lot less processing power than processing millions of single points, millions of single pixels. So the reason that Flash was originally created was so that you could do stuff on the internet, Flash games, and they would run at a decent speed because you weren't processing as much information. But it's not an amazing program, just in terms of usability. And Apple pretty much killed its use on the web for anything besides just like video encoding. Ah, yes, Mountain Dew. Let's see. He's gotta be able to catch the this is has shown me, let's see, he's got to be able to catch it in his mouth. There we go. This has shown me another potential flaw in this model, which is that what he really needs, just above here, is one of those little, you know, like they've got kind of a, oh, what is the technical term? Skin flap that connects their jaw. I don't, it, well, that looks worse. Not into it. Well, maybe if we, nope, let's, oh, Adobe Animate, why you gotta be like that? More quail. Yet possibly cocaine, for flash games. Oh no. Just breathes quail. Okay, what if that's a little bit better. Let's see if we can. Okay, I don't know why it's doing that. I'm gonna give up. And pick it like I'm supposed to. Gonna try and behave. Make everything work. Do a gradient. Oh, cool. We're not doing that now. We're not. We've decided not to add colors to my palette. Is that? Oh, of course, because I picked that one. And then what? That one maybe. No, I'm just muttering about palettes. Just such a quail obsessed chat. My people are quail obsessed. MIMO quail systems. Yeah, I mean that's a whole. I'm unprepared. I'm unprepared with an unbroken baby quail. I don't. I don't have undamaged baby quail. I'm gonna try and. Maybe. How's that feel? Feels backwards. Feels weird. What about like that? How's that feel? A little better. Oh, good. Beeping of a truck backing up. That's great for audio. Qu'est-ce? Oh, don't French. Qu'est-ce que quail? That's not how that's pronounced. Somebody else who knows French can figure that one out. I do not. In fact, every time I try and say anything in French, I try and pronounce it like it's Spanish, which is incorrect. Yeah, the quill at this point should probably be falling off. Should probably just roll right off. Oops. just rolling off to the ground. Let's see if we can put this in a place that works. No, 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 stop it. But then where does it go? Okay. Nope. I mean, at least it's a soft, fluffy fall. Yeah, there we go. That works. Okay. So if on this keyframe, yeah, there we go. He so let's say he rolls to, let's say, here before we stop. Adult quail can fly. So let's, okay. He starts to fall here. So he does not start to fall here. He starts to fall here. We will remove his parent. Oh. I mean, California quail can fly. We'll have him sort of slide into place. Oh. Which way is he rolling? Yeah, he needs to be that way. There we go. Just a little bit of foolishness. And then while we're doing foolishness, drops in and then he needs to close his mouth extra fast. Where are we? He's in because he needs to snap it closed. Is that what I... Nope, that was the wrong thing. We want... There we go. Yeah. I've drifted off something. There we go. Bet you didn't know that I can drift off screen when I was working digitally. Okay. Let's it doesn't have is it still are we still feeding him a pear? It doesn't have to be a pear. It can be any fruit you want. I can draw fruit. It's not a problem. What color is a pear? That's a pear color. Apples are. I mean, there are reddish pears. I tell you what. Let's. So there's a pear. Here's like, I don't know, a golden delicious apple. Not a golden delicious, obviously a red delicious. Which aren't delicious, I think, personally. But you know, I didn't name the apple. Let's get ourselves a quick little apple here. Apple stem, different color. Oh, they used to be delicious. That makes sense. That makes sense, convoluted. They, before the way apples looked in the grocery store became more important than the way they tasted. All right, let's see. We got an apple, a pear. An apple shows up better. We'll go apple. Also, hello, convoluted. I see that you, like I, were alive at the time when it was cool to replace letters with numbers. And we were all, you know, feeling really proud of ourselves for using elite in our usernames. Yeah, that's right. We were so cool. Replacing A's with 4s and T's with 7s and E's with 3s. I'll be honest, I came to the name Sarah with T kind of late in the internet game, and was vaguely shocked to discover that no one had taken it anywhere. No one had it, so I became Sarah with T on everything, which was already probably my personal brand. So I've just made this a symbol off screen because that's where the thing pops up. That means that now the drawing is inside a symbol holder. We'll just aim it at his mouth right there. Yes. Yeah, it's especially helpful for personal branding if all of your Did you not, Hannah? You missed the quail falling off. He falls. He rolls down. We knock him back now. Um, yeah, I was legit shocked that no one had taken Sarah with tea on Twitter, and then I just started using it for everything. What kind of tea? Today I'm drinking Earl Grey tea, just plain old Taylor's of Harrogate Earl Grey tea that I ordered in bulk, because that's the only way you can get it here now, um, and it's my favorite of the Earl Greys, and I've run out of fancy tea. I thought that we'd established at this point that Sheepguana could be the size of sheep or ponies. Um, yeah, I guess that is sort of okay. Well, here, you know what? We can fix this. We can change the scale pretty simply. But that, see, then it's a very, now see, it's now it's going to be an apple slice, because now it doesn't fit in his little Sheepguana mouth. Um, make it slightly larger. Nope, we can't. It needs to fit for for ease of animating. Yeah, it could be a crab apple. It could be a tiny apple. It can be slightly large because that'll be funny. There we go. Yes. I'm just gonna have a frame here. I'm just gonna, you know, just gonna do that to horrify all of you. There you go. That's a thing you made happen. I think crab apples can grow in North Carolina. I feel like they grew in Tennessee, um, which in terms of climate is sort of a similar place. Just this is what Hannah's caused to happen. Just everyone enjoy that for a moment. Well, he needs his own whole thing. We'll put a thing here. He can have his own file. We'll come back to him in a minute. We've got, okay, apple falling. Apple disappears this frame. Wait, this frame. This frame. No more. Well, it can't really disappear at this frame. It can. We can make this happen. I'll snap closed on the apple. And then he swallows it, so his, yeah, there we go. Yeah, that's working. Bye, Auntie. See you in a minute, hopefully. Okay. Did I do a, yeah, the apple kind of falls at a weird curve. That's maybe, oh, it needs to go this way. Huh. Apple. Apple is falling on a curve and I don't know why. Interesting. Anyway, that seems fine. Oh, you know what we need though? The apple is not shiny. It needs to be shiny. It needs to be a nice, shiny, new, fresh cartoon highlight apple. There we go. Yeah. Yeah, the animation, which mathematically should be it dropping straight down from here to there, is for some reason not. I'm gonna see if I can. Yeah, I don't like it. It's I I don't I don't have an explanation. It's the power of the Sheepguana. It's also definitely creating an ease that shouldn't exist. It, it's being very odd is flesh. Yeah, it's wind. It's there we go. It's windy. It's fine. So let's see. He's apple falls. He noms it. Oh, oh, yeah. My sound effect is probably not in sync with the video for you guys, which makes it especially weird. But that's fine. Okay, and I think he's gonna end this with a happy face. Yeah, happy face. Okay. Maybe a frame of opening. Yeah, there we go. Okay. The other thing that we need, I think, is some apple bits. Some apple bits here when he bites down to make it look like he's taking a bite. He remembers what color my apple was. That's not the color. What color was my apple? This color? Yes. So we're just gonna give him some apple bits, and then apple interior, apple fleshed color. There we go. And all the bits of apple. Okay. Now we need to animate some flying bits of apple here. Let's just kind of have them explode outwards a bit. Nope, a bit here. Down. Eh. And now let's have them do that animation magic thing where they get smaller until they disappear. That's a fun effect sheet. One of my personal favorites. I mean, of course I'm going to put them on Twitter as GIFs, obviously. They're for everyone. Does anyone have a scale preference? I was going to go for kind of like emoji small, kind of like little Sheepguana in the corner there. But that's not necessarily a set thing. That was just sort of the scale that I kind of envisioned. Just because it's a nice cute scale that you can put on things without it taking up too much space. It feels like that almost just too many frames of Chomp. Like maybe we could go straight to this frame and be done with it. Yeah, that's a little bit snappier. Now what scale, what size did I think I made these? Yeah, this is 640 by 480 because I didn't see any reason to make an enormous version. But I mean, it's the thing about Adobe Animate is that it's vector, so he can just be as big as I want, really. Just hilariously large. It's public domain animation of a sheep iguana hybrid eating an apple with a quail that falls down that you always wanted. Yes, it's what the internet has been crying out for is public domain sheep iguana animations with baby quail on its head. Absolutely. So yeah, we've got an apple that we munch on that has gone off of our sort of base our base Twitch. So there's some fun. No. So I think that I'm going to take a quick break, make a little bit more tea, come back in about 5 minutes, and probably go for another hour after that. So, by the woman laughing alone with salad. Is that a thing? Is that a thing that happened on the internet? Oh no. So I'm gonna take a quick break to make some tea. I'm gonna leave you with this just playing, just because that seems fun. And I will be back in about 5 minutes. I need a little image that I can stick on here that's like a break image so that people know that I've actually gone on break and it's not just a weird silent stream. But anyway, I'll be back shortly. Think about what we're going to do after this. It could be animated crabapple, I'm just saying. See you shortly. And back from break with more tea. Just in time to say hi to Alluvial, who has joined us. Yay! Yeah, I told you guys to figure out what to do next. Let's scroll up and see what happened while I was gone. Let's see. The salad animated. So, okay, Sheepguana and Quail fall asleep would be extremely cute. That would be great. A subtle butt wiggle. It's true. You did let me off easy. Well, we could tail wag, but like that would take the next hour. So, let's let's stop the infinite loop of iguana feeding here. Oh, that's how far behind that is. Okay, good. Now we'll see the video sync up with the audio. Yeah, no, it was intentionally silent. I had muted the mic because I had gone to boil more water to make more tea. And before I left, as I said, I think I need a banner I can pop on that says that I'm on break, so that it's not super weird that someone shows up in the middle of like 5 minutes of silence. Although I did leave a happy animating Sheepguana, so at least you had something to watch. So, well, actually, I was thinking a banner with a boiling kettle to complete the tea theme, but I won't make you guys watch me animate that, because like the teacup with the steam, I'll probably just spend a hilariously long amount of time carefully noodling the steam effect. But I think we will. I think we will do Sheepguana falling asleep. That feels like a solid choice. So let's just move these guys out of the way, and bring back base Sheepguana here. Put you back over here. All right. What will we call this symbol? Let's put this here so everybody can see. Sheepguana nap time. So it's for anybody just tuning in who missed the beginning of this stream. There's some Sheepguana lore written by rcraft on Twitter. Because I love it so much, I will add the link another time to chat so that everyone, absolutely everyone, can see the amazing glory that is the Geyer Sheepguana lore. Because when I saw it yesterday, it made me very, very happy. And if anyone else wants to write excellent Sheepguana lore, please do feel free. I love writing what other people, or love reading what other people have written about stuff that I was a part of. Hi, the Black Tiger. Welcome to chat. We're about to have a baby quail and a Sheepguana fall asleep. There wasn't originally a baby quail. That just happened, and now it just lives on the Sheepguana's head. Oh yay! rcraft is writing more Sheepguana lore, which I will continue to read aloud on stream as long as no one stops me, because it makes me very happy. And I've actually been considering doing an amazing little sort of fake illuminated book page with the Sheepguana write up and like a Gyre iguana sort of illumination illustration, and then I would have it, as translated by the esteemed scholar R. Craft, and put that up. So that may be either a future stream or just something I do in my spare time and put up a thing. So the history of the Sheepguana. The Sheepguana was invented by, I'm gonna say it's pronounced Taichin. A few weeks ago, I posted a what should I sculpt poll on Twitter, and one option was sheep and one option was iguana. And Taichin wrote a poem that invented the Sheepguana, and Twitter was like, yes, this is the best, please this. So since then, Sheepguana has become a thing. I sculpted a Sheepguana vessel, which I believe there's a photo of somewhere. If I can find it without accidentally showing you all of my photos. Yeah, Sheepguana. I sculpted a Sheepguana vessel. And we had a whole fun group chat thing, sort of writing lore about the Sheepguana that had been just a silly mashup of the two options on the poll. And so we talked about like Sheepguana wool, Sheepguana herding, and that kind of thing. And it was really a fun sort of collaborative storytelling situation that was really interesting and sort of the beginning of fun stuff. And then this week, our craft suggested that they would like to write some lore and ask if if that was part of various other things, or if it mattered. And basically, everyone was like, "Do the thing, whatever you say." This is a improv yes and situation. This is all yes and. Please do the thing. So it's no one's. If anyone, it's Taichin's creation, but I'm not convinced that they would say that. It's the internet's creation, and we're just here to give it love. Sheepguana belongs to all. And as I mentioned last week, and a little bit earlier in the stream, I'm really enjoying sort of the group storytelling aspect to a lot of the things that we're doing, and I'd like to do some more of that, and keep enjoying this weird, fun ability we have to just group invent ideas. Oh yeah, Auntie Shepherd explains a little further is that she was trolling her mom with the concept of an iguana brothel, and later I started trolling her with that same thing in a poll, and then Taichin, who did not know what was going on, wrote a Sheepguana poem, and then Auntie Shepherd started trolling me with Sheepguana, which accidentally flooded Hannah's mentions in Twitter because she was tagged on one of the original posts. So Hannah just got on Twitter to like 100 notifications of people just shouting Sheepguana at her in all caps. Oh no, actually I think it's good to recap this. Sheepguana is a very odd thing, and as I've been made aware recently, some people actually listen to this like a podcast rather than watching the art stream. So having a recap in here is actually really helpful so that everyone understands what's going on if they've just joined us. So anyway, Hannah got flooded with Sheepguana. She drew a Sheepguana on her stream, and then I sculpted the Sheepguana vessel, and that is the Twitter history of Sheepguana. Sheepguana is a product of essentially some friendly Twitter trolling. And it's a good, I think it's a fun story. Oh yeah, and then so Hannah painted an amazing Sheepguana that's like a Sheepguana goddess on like a velvet pillow. It's super amazing. And you should follow Hannah if you don't, because her art streams are always super fun. And yeah, everyone should put Sheepguana in their D&D games. They should, yeah. Viworm is Taishin who wrote a lovely poem based essentially on Ursula Vernon and Auntie Shepherd trolling each other around my trolling in my. It's a good story. It's a classic things that happen on Twitter sort of story. So uh, yeah, I also love how the lack of context just completely informed what happened. It's like one person did not know what was going on, but saw two people shouting things and just put it together, and that's how the Sheepguana was born. Anyway, I hope that was a fun story for the people that didn't know it. It was fun for those of us that lived it. Let's have a Sheepguana and quail team go to sleep. Now, let's go back to animating. Apparently I can't tell that story and animate at the same time. So let's try and get back to making some art while I talk. But anyway, thank you everybody who originated the idea and played along and has been sort of enjoying it with me and continue to allow me to be silly about it and make more and more of them. Yeah, Shepherd is how the quail got into things. That's true. That's how quail get into everything. Also, I've only just now realized that Viworm is a version of Wyvern with the letters rearranged, and I feel very clever for figuring it out, even though I'm probably not very clever for figuring it out just now. But you know. Clever-ish. Some people. So, how did I did that quail gif a while ago but I think the continuation of the quail is partly because I did not discourage it and because I intimated that at some point I would like to have backyard quail. Well, back deck quail. I don't have a yard so much as I have a deck upon which I have space to put quail if I rearrange it, as it were. So the quail have continued based on my general continued interest. Don't admit that it was an accident. Tell everyone that it was a clever thing that you did. Although yeah, it does sort of make sense given that given that you wrote a poem about Sheepguana. How did that happen? Okay, what have I broken now? No, no. There we go. Oh, IRC, that's from ye olden days. From the days of yore. This is the toe I broke earlier. I mean, you know, it's fine. It has a joint. It's fine. I love how everyone's like, "Oh, my old usernames." I'm like, mine's from the time I made a Twitter account in I think 2014. Um, I have a lot of shed usernames of yore that are better left undiscussed. Though all of which definitely contain letters taking or numbers taking the place of letters, because of course they do. Of course they do. Yeah, some of mine still exist on the internet, so we're not we're not going to talk about it. Oh, we need to fold this back. I see what's happened here. I think I fold it forward though. Ah, yes. I will say that once, long time ago, um, I was a moderator on Gaia Online with the username Fire spelled with a Y instead of an I. That used to be my go-to is Fire with a Y. You know, like the cool kids. I mean, but this was the 90s. You know, the olden days. Is this gonna? Yep, that's gonna be terrible. Okay. Oh no. It's infinitely less embarrassing. I mean, I don't know. There's nothing wrong with Necro Buffalo. I mean, unless you don't want people to see you as a buffalo necromancer, in which case, maybe not the best. Um, but I think it's fun. Oh yeah, fire with a Y was probably also my username on like Muds back when we played Muds. So, you know. So there's that. Oh yeah. Back in the olden times when we played Muds. Oh, it's a buffalo that practices necromancy, at least in my opinion, is necro buffalo. Although I suppose it could also be a, a zombie buffalo. Oh, people still use IRC. I thought that all of the people who used to use IRC had moved to Discord, the thing that everyone says I should use, but I just dislike. It just I don't like it. Oh, let's see. I've come up with I've realized a flaw in this in this in this leg. How to fix it? Let's do this. Yeah, I don't like the layout of Discord. I don't like the usability. I don't know. Just this not oops. But to be fair, I have a friend who can't stand Slack, which is what I mostly use for work, so it's I think it might just be a thing you're used to issue for me. But yeah, that's it. There's something about the UX of Discord that just, I don't know. It's confusing and weird. I don't like it. Not a fan. Sorry that we've gotten out of animation and into me fixing my rigging, but this is kind of a thing that happens a lot in animation, honestly. You start to animate and then you realize that something you planned to be simple isn't, and you need to fix it. Yeah, I don't. I mean, I have to log in a bunch of times to Slack anyway because I have multiple Slacks because that is the problem with being self-employed with multiple clients is that sometimes you have a client who's like, just join my Slack, and you're like, but I'm in 8 others. It's so confusing. But what can you do? You join the Slack. Anyway, ancient usernames. Are always fun to remember. The times that the one time that Hannah and I did the joint stream, we were chatting over Google Hangouts because whenever I try and use Skype, it always breaks somehow. I mean, I could run screaming into the woods to become a quail farmer if I wanted, I suppose. But I mostly like my job, turns out. Oh yeah, when you get to the age when you get to the age where you hate it when someone rearranges your grocery store. So true. That is the truest thing. Anytime they rearrange the grocery store that you go to, you're just like, you're in there, it's late, you want to find the thing that you needed because you forgot to buy milk, and now it's in a different part of the store, and you're tired and you don't know what you're doing because your grocery store shopping experience is basically programmed in. You just go onto autopilot and like make your circle of the store. And now everything is in different places and you don't know where to find any of it. It's the tragedy of adulthood right there. Oh no, I'm so sorry, Necrobuffalo. I'm sorry that you have to live through the renovation of your local Safeway. We'll get through this together. And the reason I have to order this tea, Earl Grey, from Taylor's of Harrogate is because my local grocery store stopped carrying it. So now I have to order like 8 boxes at a time on the internet. So, no, grocery store changes, the worst. All right, let's. All of that extra effort was specifically so that we could have Sheepguana like put his chin down on his feet. That was all for that. Just get some fluff there. Yep, there we go. Oh, Piggly Wiggly. Oh, is Piggly Wiggly gone? That was a thing of my youth. The Piggly Wiggly. It's Jungle Gems. Oh, the local grocery store is called Jungle Gems. That's beautiful. Yeah, I'm in the land of Safeway now, um, which is fine. Safeway is fine. Um, it's not amazing, but it's fine. There. Quail. Quail, what are you gonna? Don't slide off, Quail. So does Portland have the same problem as Boston and Berkeley, and that you can't get breakfast for dinner? You can definitely get breakfast for dinner in Berkeley. FYI. But if you want to go out somewhere for brunch, you're screwed. There'll be a line anywhere. But you can get breakfast for dinner. Oh, the quail should snuggle down to the wall. Why do you? Your good ideas are making this harder. Now I have to make a quail wool mask. There we go. We're gonna call it quail wool mask so I don't forget what I was doing with it. And then we will attach it. What will we attach it to? The quail? That seems like it was a mistake. Okay, hang on. Not the quail. Let's attach it to the iguana head. Yeah. I would actually say that in general for my chat and my stream didn't get that weird. Pretty normal. It's you know, in fact, I don't think it rose to the level. It certainly didn't rise to the level of that where I had to be like, okay, guys, let's chill out. It's just I mean, you know, it's okay. I just kind of don't want to linger on decapitation. It's not it's not it's not really in keeping with the happy Bob Ross Weird Animals theme of this stream. It's you know, just gonna try and keep it friendly and happy and cheerful and look at this adorable sleepy sheepguana. So I'm gonna have him, I think, yawn. Just a big sheepguana yawn. Big happy little quail. A happy little quail, a happy little sheepguana. Everybody's happy, everything's fine. I'm gonna do oh, big yawn. I think he needs a bigger yawn. No, don't move the whole sheepguana. No. Yes, drag me into the kitchen while you make lunch. I've realized that I made a really useful layer in a different sheepguana and didn't transfer it over. Nope, it's not the apple. It's that. Am I a good lunch buddy? That's nice. I want to be good company since I'm talking to you in the void on this stream. My goal is to there we go. I don't know. Oh no, what have I done? It's I mean, if it's you could learn, but I will say that in your defense, I've been studying animation since the 90s, so I've had some time to work it out. And in general, you should just pay a professional to animate because it's how we make our money. And it helps. All right, let's have him kind of settles. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I prefer 2D games as well because I'm a 2D animator and I'm completely biased uh, by the fact that I prefer 2D animation. Yeah. Okay. Let's there. Big yawn and quick closed. Yeah, so instead of doing a sort of a big crazy like RPG, do do like do like Hearthstone is the word I'm trying to say. And have the animation be mostly programmatic and minimal. And paint cards. Yeah, there you go. And then you can make the art without having to learn a whole new skill. Be a little garbage. Yeah, well, you know, that's just how it goes. The toe that I broke is broken again. If anyone's keeping track, it somehow broke itself again. I don't. I think it's just revenge. What's that? Oh, there's a little kind of hop. I'm not into it. Why does it hop like that? Oh, uh-huh. Okay, it still does a weird bounce, but I don't have a solution. What? Now the leg is why? Why? Why are you like this, Flash? Animate. Maybe it's because I keep calling it Flash. Maybe that's why it's like that. And why are you? You know what? You're you're gone now. Okay, so we've got kind of a yawn. I want that to be. I feel like it needs to be longer. A big yawn, and then a longer pause. Okay, not quite that much longer. Slightly too long. Okay, and then a big pause. Let's ease out. And ease out. Okay, how about that? Quail. Oh, I know what happened, Quail. I'm sorry, that was my fault. That's sorry, Quail. I recognize that I did that to you. Okay. So let's see. When he, how is he going to get comfortable? He's kind of settled. Oh, that ruins everything. Let's not do that. We could do something hilariously simple. Yeah, let's do that. And on that, so give him a oh, closed. Some screen names are forever. Yeah, that's always fun when you see someone you've met online and they call you your screen name, and you're like, this, oh, huh, don't know what to do with this. Let's see. If we can. Let's see if we can tail fluff here. You. Okay. Whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa. What happened? Why? Nope, it's fine now. Everything's fine. I don't know what happened. Cool. Okay, while he's taking a deep breath, Quail. Oops, where's Quail? He's up here at the top. Quail needs to just snuggle in to, and then this can it doesn't need to go up. It can just tween. There will not be, because I can't touch the art of baby quail or it disappears. So in future, perhaps quail will be replaced by a more appropriate quail drawing. Oh, I will. I am gonna do. I'm gonna try and do one thing here. Let's see, is it still gonna do it? Oh no, this version is unbroken. How very exciting. Don't know what's going on there. Like super don't understand. But that's fine, because I just wanted to close his eye so that now he's a sleepy quail. Oh. Is he? Oh, I see what's happened. Undo. Undo all of the things you broke. Okay. And you are the copy. And you also need to be a copy. There we go. Fixed. Okay. I feel like this can be longer. And he can have a bit of more of a pause. Yeah, there we go. Oops. So, going to sleep. Okay, now, I feel like to finish that off, what we really need is a sleeping loop. So I think we'll do that quickly, which means we'll just take this frame. Oh, nope. And remove these frames and give him, I think a 2-second sleeping loop. So the sleeping, I'm not, everyone will be happier if I do not sing. I'm not great at pitch. That said, if someone writes me a Sheepguana lullaby, and then tells me what tune to sing it to, and then donates money to my Ko-fi, then I'll sing for you the Sheepguana song. But then, only then, will I sing to you, and then you might regret it. Then you might regret that you wanted it to happen. Excuse me. I'm also semi scratchy in my throat today. Okay, let's do sort of, first of all, he needs long deep breaths. So he's got to gotta breathe. And we gotta give everything a keyframe. Oh dear. Oh no. Oh no, you guys making this happen, huh? You really want to hear me sing? You want to hear me sing, but without knowing how well I do? Oh no. Such faith you have. Such unearned faith. Hannah's probably heard me sing. She's been with me on hikes in real life, which is the time I'm most likely to actually sing. Heard me sing. It's not a thing I do often around people, unless oh, that's wrong. Oh, you ever see? There you go. Even Hannah doesn't know if I can sing. I can't. I'm not good at it. But now just there's still time for that lullaby. There's still time for that lullaby, and for me to apologize to anybody who's listening to this as a podcast instead of watching it, and can't mute it and just look at the Sheepguana while I sing. It's if it happens, it's not my fault. I'm just doing what the people say. Okay, so this time he gets an ear twitch. Just a little. That was too much. There we go. He's got a little ear flap. Quail, did you just twitch? You did. Weird. Quail. Oops. Do. Quail. Does the quail still twitch? No. Yes. What? Quail. So weird. Okay, whatever. It's fine. It's fine. I've come to peace. I've come to peace with the weird quirkiness of Animate today. We're just gonna sleep. Just a sleeping Sheepguana. God rest you, merry gentlemen, is what we're going with. Oh no. Okay, let's we got. Yeah, I believe it or not, the fact that it was to the tune of God rest you, merry gentlemen was obvious from the beginning of the wording. Although I feel like possibly it's multiple gods. I don't know. Are we monotheistic quail? Is it only the hen of grasses? We'll just. Okay. So I'm gonna just do a quick thing here to make it loop, which is, now that I've got the starting and ending frame the same, I'm just gonna add a keyframe here. And then remove this last keyframe, so that now this is the keyframe right before this, so that now there's no weird pause at the end of his loop. So he just loops forever. So now let's do something silly really quickly here. Let's start with you, put you on top, turn everything off, make that, yeah, I'm just putting off singing at this point, but we'll get there. We're just gonna make it like 10 seconds long. And we're gonna have it be like 1 second, and then it'll be there, and then we'll do him eating. Oops. 1, 1. Nope. Nope. And now he's happy. Only play once. And then he will and then he will yawn and go to sleep. And then he'll just be asleep for just, let's go for 35 seconds. Sure, why not? So, save that. Zoom. Zoom. Zoom a little less. And there we go. No, we're not a weem away. That's just silly. So, control, playback. Just oops, I think I've messed it up. Oh, I see what happened. You need to loop. Cool. Now I can look at my animation and think about all the bits that are too fast and weird. I have to scroll up here. Where are we? Oh, okay. Okay, that's the tune of that. Back leg twitching while he's asleep. Oh yeah, like a little. He's got the ear twitch. Okay. We'll add a little. We'll add. Ooh, that was the wrong button. We'll sneak in there with a back leg twitch with his ear loop. Where? Get a little. That tail is really wobbly. Not into it. I'm just gonna have it move with him like that. Oh, huh. All through the night. Yeah, I don't think I have that either. Okay. Let's twitch the toes. They curl while he's dreaming. Put that there. No, that still breaks it. Nope, nope, nope. Put some things. Just a little bit of an adjustment there. There we go. Just a little twitch. Just a little back leg twitch. And saving. All right. Back to the beginning. There we go. Now we have a full play thing. Ideally. What if it? Yeah, that's centered-ish. Cool. I need to stop watching me on this. Let's put that back. That's more in time. Okay. Now let's scroll back up to so there's a reason I don't do karaoke, and that is that my ability to read while doing anything else is very slim. So if this goes poorly, well, you'll know what happened. We'll just get that playing there. Maybe we'll play it. Maybe I'll accidentally have hit enter in some other program. Yep, that's what happened. Don't know what that was. Have no idea what I did. Probably something in OBS. Anyway. Yeah, there we go. So it's God rest ye merry quail chick, let nothing you dismay. Your mighty Sheepguana shall keep you safe this day from claws that catch and jaws that bite and snatch your life away. Oh, sleep safe with the sheep. Oh, sleep safe with Sheepguana tonight. Sleep well tonight. Oh, sleep well with Sheepguana tonight. It's my best version of that. Remember, chat, this is your fault. You asked for it. And let's see. Is it a Awimwe? Hush, my quail chick, my tiny quail chick, the Sheepguana sleeps tonight. Sleep, my quail chick, my darling quail chick. That doesn't scan with the music. And that's all I got. That's I've proven that if you make me do it, I will sing. It's God rest. You're just gonna keep watching. I don't have a. I need to wake up for him. Yeah, I'm definitely. I'm 100% bribable. Um, this is in fact a performance, and you'll notice I've done a whole lot of things like Twitter polls to make sure that the thing that I do on stream is something that you want to watch. Um, but I think we'll wrap up a little bit early, settle down, do some closing discussion, and wrap up. Because I don't know that we have time for more animation, and I feel like we've got a whole sort of friendly Sheepguana loop. I will do versions of these with and without quail and put them up as little GIFs on Twitter for everyone. Internet busking is a special art form all its own, and it's an interesting one that I'm learning because I've spent most of my career doing a really simple trade of services for money. I do a thing, and then you pay me for the thing I did, and that's nice and simple. But now at this point, I'm starting to feel like I'd like to spend more time doing this kind of thing, doing things that I want to do, making more pottery, making my own work, and doing fun little Sheepguana animations for the internet. And just would like to spend more time on that and a little bit less time in the hustle of like finding clients and doing work. So we'll see how that goes. So far, chat, you're great. Thank you everybody who shows up every week and who participates and writes stories and helps come up with lore in the chat and forces me to sing by writing the lyrics of songs, and invents poems of sheepguanas on the internet. You guys are a great chat. You're super creative, and I'm really glad that you show up every week. It's much more fun with all of you guys participating and coming up with fun stories. Maybe next week we could still animate a crab apple. Maybe that'll just show up in the GIFs and no one will understand why but us. Yeah, I'm thanking you for harassing me. Look, this is a really hard thing to do if chat is just quiet. If they come in and say hi and then they just don't, it's just silence. Like all I can do is just tell you what I'm doing step by step, and that's not very interesting. It's much more fun when you guys have a bunch of stuff to say and then I can be involved. Look, I'm not saying troll me harder, but what I am saying is that the last time we got into a minor friendly troll war, Sheepguana happened. So just, a thing to keep in mind is that I'm relying on everyone's participation to keep this fun and interesting. And thank you for doing that. Just leave Sheepguana here running asleep. And let's see. Anything else we need to go over before I make a sandwich for dinner and we all go on with our lovely Friday evenings? Next week, I think we'll be back to sculpture. I might put up a poll, but I also might just sculpt an octopus because I've been wanting to, and haven't in a while. So I might just make an executive decision, which I feel is fine given that we've done a significant amount of sheepguanas. I also hope that next week I will have some finished pottery to show everybody. Ideally, probably not the fired sheepguana vessel because he's still drying and our kiln was broken for a week. So probably just some I should have the quail family ideally back so that everybody can see how that turned out. An octopus. The reason that I enjoy sculpting octopi is that they lend themselves to all kinds of interesting sort of variations. Like they can be they can be on a lid, they can be stuck on the side of a mug, they can be holding up candles or oil lamps, which is something that I know Auntie Shepherd has been looking forward to. So they're just good fun, and you can sort of put the tentacles in any which direction And also I've been wanting to do a giant octopus fountain, but that takes some planning, and I also have to figure out where to buy a pump for the fountain. So probably not next week, but next week we'll be back to sculpture. As usual, we will put all of the information on Twitter. As always, you can donate to me on Ko-Fi, which I refuse to say is coffee.com. Apparently, you can do that to make me sing. So, just keep that in mind. I have been toying with the idea of switching to Patreon for that kind of thing, but I haven't really firmed up anything about that yet. So I'll let everybody know if and when that happens. And keep writing Sheepguana lore, keep writing Bird D&D lore. Post it on Twitter. I'll read it out loud to everyone. Write songs, make me sing them off key live, and everybody have a great weekend. And I will see you next Friday tea time. Bye, everybody.